A Jacksonville man who spent 42 years in prison for a crime he did not commit was laid to rest this morning. Clifford Williams died last week. He was 80 years old. He spent less than 5 years as a free man after his exoneration. News4Jax reporter Aaron Farrar spoke with several family members for the first time publicly who say Williams is an inspiration.
The casket carrying Clifford Williams Jr.'s body rolls into Mount Bethel Baptist Church, where family and friends honored a man they called humble, a giant among men, never held a grudge, and full of perseverance. While spending more than 4 decades in prison, he said his daughter Tracy was his rock. When you heard those words and what your dad said about you, what did that mean to you?
My dad and I were always like two peas in a pod. When he was in prison, he gave me the power of attorney when he turned 18 because he knew I always advocated for him. I always wanted to make sure whatever could be done was done for him.
Williams and his nephew Nathan Myers were wrongfully convicted of a murder in 1976. They spent 42 years in prison before being cleared of all wrongdoing in 2019. Myers was at the funeral today.
I see this man hurt. I see this man cry. You know, there was a lovely man. Everybody loved Clifford Williams, but the law.
But what hurts those who love Williams the most is the robbed time. Most of his life taken away from him because of injustice. Most of his family never got the chance to have the relationships they deserved. They were stolen.
He didn't get to walk me down the aisle. He wasn't there when his grandchildren were born. So this was a time that I had my first dance. I've been listening to that song, Butterfly Kisses, bedtime stories, all of the things that we had.
Like showing me how to be a man, you know. I didn't have my dad, and now I don't have my granddad, so.
Williams even lost a son while wrongfully incarcerated. His oldest son was killed in a motorcycle crash after visiting his father in prison.
Because his dad wouldn't let him go that day. And it was hurtful for my dad. He lived so many days regretting how his son died.
But they are grateful for the time they did have, and they do promise one thing.
We're going to honor him by doing what he wanted to do, which was prison ministry.
After being exonerated in 2019, Williams fought and beat prostate cancer. Williams is laid to rest at Evergreen Cemetery on North Main Street. Reporting outside Mount Bethel Baptist Church, I'm Aaron Farrar, Channel 4, the local station.
Williams' family says it plans to start a scholarship fund for kids whose parents are incarcerated. And Scott, the other interesting thing about this is them saying that they're going to do a prison ministry as well.
And that's great to see because he spent so much time there, unfortunately, and wrongly convicted. And this story was something that just the whole country was really talking about. Spent all that time behind bars. Finally, though, in those final years, did have some time with his family.
Yes.
But robbed of so much.
Yes.